Alright, so I just want to make a video here about Jesse Ventura and his haters out there. So, if you don't know, he won $1.8 million in a defamation lawsuit against Chris Kyle's widow, Taya Kyle. And Jesse Ventura was suing because Chris Kyle said, oh, Jesse Ventura punched me out in the bar and said that the Seals was there to lose a few. And the jury ruled that this did not happen, and that the Kyle estate had to pay Ventura $1.8 million for the defamation lawsuit because the Chris Kyle saying that it tarnished Ventura's reputation, and also Ventura also said he was declined more interviews for it. There's a lot of backlash, for Ventura for suing a widow, Taya Kyle, or Taya, I don't know what her name is. And I do feel bad for her because her husband did die tragically, but doesn't mean she cannot get sued. And there's a lot of blame put towards Ventura for this. But I think the blame should be put towards Chris Kyle. Yes, he's dead, but it doesn't mean we cannot bash him. The blame should be put towards Chris Kyle, who lied about it. Why is there no blame put towards Chris Kyle? You wouldn't have said this in the first place and none of this would have happened. Ventura had to protect his reputation. He had to. I mean, it's something you got to do. So, especially as like a political figure, I mean, if you're a nobody like me, I mean, and somebody says that, it's not gonna, not the whole world's not gonna hear it. But Ventura is a political figure. I mean, he's a household name pretty much. So he had to go to court to defend himself, clear his name of it. And actually in the beginning, everybody's like, oh, Ventura did it for the money. I was hearing Bill O'Reilly saying, he was on Fox News saying, oh, Ventura, he must have money problems when Ventura's net worth is like $19 million or something like that. And he's like, Ventura should donate it to fucking charity. You know what? Taya Kyle should take some of that $6 million she made off the book, Chris Kyle, which went to her, that she made off the book, and donate it to charity. Or maybe she should tell people, and, I remember CM Punk saying Chris Brown should tell people what he did was wrong and beating Rihanna. Maybe Taya Kyle should tell people that lying, what her husband did is wrong too. Or maybe she should donate some of that to charity too. Like Taya Kyle made $6 million, pretty much, off lies. Most of that, is off lies. Ventura made $1.8 million in the legal fees. I mean, he said, Alex Jones said, who was a good friend of Ventura, said that Ventura probably is losing money here. So when you group it all together, Ventura probably lost money out of this whole ordeal. And actually, Taya Kyle, the publisher of the book, I've heard, the publisher of the book's insurance company has paid for all of that $1.8 million. I heard another source it was $1.3 million Taya Kyle had to pay, but most of the people have been saying the insurance company of the publisher of the book paid all the money. So, and even if Taya Kyle did pay $1.3 million of it, she made $6 million from the book, so she's profiting money. I mean, that's what people fail to realize here, and they're just attacking Ventura. And even Opie and Anthony, like I haven't seen one person, there's people mocking Ventura, but the truth is the truth, and I haven't seen people really, saying the jury's wrong here. I actually saw one person, I think it was like a mainstream news article, I believe it was in the Examiner, I don't know for sure though, so don't quote me on it, but they're like, if this is appealed in Texas, where I believe that's where Taya Kyle lives, Ventura will probably lose because it's a Texas jury as opposed to a Minnesota jury. And the Minnesota jury is more likely to favor Ventura because that's his home state. That was the most ludicrous, ridiculous statement I've ever heard in my life. If you're a jury member, who are you more likely to favor? Jesse Ventura. I'm just going from a normal person here. Jesse Ventura, who's a conspiracy theorist, and has received a lot of backlash for this incident, or a widow of an American hero, he's called, you would probably more likely favor the Chris Kyle's widow. But no, they favored Ventura 8-2. So that tells you something there. And Ventura said, nobody was in the courthouse, so I'm going to take Ventura's word on it because he's never lied to me. And he was actually in the courthouse. He said all the witnesses for Taya Kyle, they were spotty stories, inconsistent. And Ventura had, overwhelming evidence. He said he had pictures of, the day. There was no marks on him at all. But yeah, I mean, the truth is the truth, people. And, it's like, you gotta go to court. And Ventura actually told Kyle, he said, Ventura claims he told Kyle, just retract the statement, say it never happened, and we could go our separate ways, we could shake hands. But Kyle said no. So if there's anybody to blame in the situation, it's Chris Kyle. He could have stopped it. And people are saying, I hear Alex Jones saying it could be a psyop, like an inside job by the government to frame Ventura. I don't think it is because it doesn't seem likely. It's a possibility, but I just haven't seen any hard evidence to prove that fact or back it up. It is possible, but I don't know. It's hard to tell, but it might be. It very well might be because Ventura was talking about running for president, so I don't know. But fact is the people are gonna. And I saw another a video from the Blaze where they were like mocking Ventura too. Like just the most retarded ass, childish bullshit. They were like dressing him up as like this puppet or whatever. It was just fucking retarded. And people will, oh, you sued a widow. Oh my god, But the book was a lie. It was proven. It was a lie. Is Ventura's reputation tarnished? Yeah, it is. But I mean, people were saying, I don't know if I heard anybody say this, but people might say, oh, his reputation would be less tarnished if he went to court, if he wouldn't have gone to court. Well, in a world where, the truth is going to be more, if you find out the truth, and if you find out Ventura, yes, he did tell the truth, and he's going to be more bashed if he did tell the truth. Well, that's a bad world if we live in. If more people are going to side with Ventura not suing, that's a very sad world, And it did turn out, yes, Ventura did not lie. Ventura was truthful, and the American hero did lie about it. So yeah, and my opinions on Ventura, I'll wrap this video up here in a second. I think he's a patriot. He's very outspoken about 9/11. He's a courageous, being outspoken about it. Because many people who have, questioned 9/11 get ridiculed, some even get killed, mysteriously get killed, probably by the government. He speaks out against 9/11. He does speak out against, the New World Order, the banksters on top, the Bilderberg group. He has been becoming more awake of that in the past. So I mean, I like Ventura. I like him a lot. He's very anti-war, which I am too. So I think he's a patriot. He's a real man, unlike most of the people in Washington, like Obama, who's just a puppet for the New World Order. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on Ventura. And go Ventura. He won. It was a big triumph for Ventura, in my opinion. He cleared his name. A big victory for liberty and the patriot movement, whatever you want to call it. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on all these Ventura haters bashing Ventura for this lawsuit. Ventura was right. He was correct. He was just seeking the truth. It wasn't for money until Chris Kyle made it about, or Taya Kyle. Yeah, it actually was Chris Kyle, refused to retract the statement, which was a lie. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on Ventura winning this defamation lawsuit and all the haters coming after him. So there you go, people.